to the channel. I'm just Mopar Joe, and I got in bracket mode for the No Name Nationals 2025. Special thanks again to John Cope, CRT. Everything worked well for me there. Thanks to Drew for putting that transmission together. Thanks to Mr. Rick Seaman for helping me get my engine back together and going. It was a pretty good weekend, so let's get into it. Time trial number one. I'm in the left-hand lane. I end up with a 051 reaction, which is kind of not so good. 143 60 foot, and went a 644 at 106.6. So basically, I'm right at where I was at Mopar the previous weekend with the car. My first pass there, I think, was a 46 or 44, something like that. So now we go time trial number two. Left-hand lane again. I finally have a decent light. I've only made 6 or 8 passes in this car this year, so I'm trying to get back in the groove. Had a 002 with a 2, 143 60 foot, went a 643 with an 8 at 106.7. So I gained just a little bit of mile per hour and a little bit of ET. Third time trial. It is warming up throughout the day. Go a 145 60 foot with a 23 reaction, and went a 647 at 106.6. So my mile per hour fell off just a little bit there, but I do think it's warming up outside. So now I get all dialed up and ready to run the bracket race. They announced we had a late start to the day, kind of about a 1/10 of an inch of rain that morning, so it finally got dried out. They dried up the track really well, prepped the track really well for the bracket race. But Ron Ward, our announcer, says no buybacks today. They had to decide that because we got pushed. The whole event got pushed off. My last time trial was 2:13. We were supposed to have already started racing by like 1:30 or something. So we lost an hour. So we did no buybacks. It's basically you show up and run. If you missed the part about the bounty, brother and sister-in-law their dental practice had put a $1,500 bounty on the winner of this year's bracket race to race me at the end or after the bracket race was over with. So all I had to do was, if I won the bracket, then I didn't have to race anybody. But if I lost the bracket, then the pressure would be on for me to beat the winner of the bracket. It was just kind of a deal to invoke some more excitement about the bracket race, more interest. And a lot of people raced. I think we had close to 30 cars. But here's round number 1 of the bracket race. I'll be in the left-hand lane.
Mopar showed there was 656 on a 644 dial. He had an 044 reaction time. The Malibu.
I go ahead and dial a 644, and you'll hear that Ron say also we almost had identical reaction time. So I had a 044 with the 7. He had a 043 with the 9. So what is that? About 8 thousandths difference, or 10 thousandths difference, or something like that. So very close there. His car, I believe it had street tire of some kind on it. So he pulls out and spins. I go right on past him and I let off the throttle. So 656 at 93. So I'm down about 13 or 14 mile per hour just because I had let way out of it. There was no need for me to break out or anything like that. Pass number 2.
Runs 644.
Pull up in line. I did notice there's a minivan beside me, but I don't take these vans lightly because if you'll remember the first year of No Name Nationals, I almost got beat in the bracket race by Tim at 318 Will Run in a Dodge van. So I'm always a little bit careful around them, but I'm used to at my home track. They'll let a van race, they'll let anybody race, you just write your dial in. So you may have to sit there 4 or 5 seconds waiting on that van to go by. That's what happened here. And the previous pass, they said that van actually had cut like a 002 light or something. So maybe he was on his game. But that pass, he ended up red lighting. And when I saw him red light, the pressure was off me. I just used that pass as a time trial. So my reaction was hideous because I didn't care. 145 60 foot, I went a 644 on a 47. So just because I broke out, it doesn't matter. He had already went red, so I had won the round no matter what. I just got a free time trial right then, so that was nice. On to round number 3. I'm in the left-hand lane, and I'm racing my buddy, Ross, with his red Challenger. Y'all have seen him on the channel before. Check out his channel. He started a YouTube channel so he'd be able to come out and race with us at Sykeston. That is his home track. He likes racing there, closest race spot for him, and he usually races there throughout the year. Most of the time that it's open, he can make it there. So he knows that surface really well. Super great guy, great racer, and luckily for me, his car had a little stumble to it. So he does tree me on that round. It would have been all over, but that little bit of stumble, he won a 058 reaction to my 91. I was really thinking, I was nervous about red lighting on him because I just wanted to get it done, but luckily he had that stumble and I went right on by him. So I went a 646 on a 44 at 106.8. I did stay in that one. We had a 3,000th finish margin here, so that was pretty tight. And you can see he was about 600ths off his dial in. So on to round number 4.
All right, here's the bare nickels.
He needs it.
Nickels to get $1,500 today. He's got to beat just Mopar Joe twice. Let's see if he can start by just doing it once. Joe is a very confident bracket racer. He's out. Down to 6-1. 2600ths of a second, separating him at the starting line. Going in behind Mopar Joe is going to be Barkley Schmidt.
Racing a guy named Baird Nichols. He races with the Skelton team, so it's Skelton Racetrack now, or Raceway or Dragway or whatever they want to call it. He lives at the racetrack. That is his spot, and he's actually on the track crew, cleaning, doing whatever. He's there every weekend with the family and with everybody else. So luckily, his reaction time was a little bit poor there, a 109 to my 40. I had a 143 60 foot on a 46. So my car's just right there in that arena of 44 to 47 somewhere. And I was 103 mile per hour. I think I might actually just barely let off on that pass because I could tell I was ahead of him and I was scared I was about to break out. And of course I did, but he broke out worse than I did. So he ran a 17 on a 620, and I'm on to the final round.
Here we go, our final to determine whether or not Barkley Schmidt is going to run for a penalty after the race.
All right, Joe. Show us what you know.
Final round, I'm racing the great Barkley Schmidt. I believe it's the Schmidt Show on YouTube. And he told me 2 or 3 years ago, maybe the first year of No Name Nationals, when I won the bracket race, he was the man, you know, one of the men standing there with the mop. He worked all weekend, off and on there too. This is his home track. He races there every weekend. He's the announcer a lot of the times in the booth. And he says, I'm going to start a YouTube channel, man. I'm going to race you in a few years or whenever. So it didn't happen that year, but it did last year. So he was back last year. I don't think he won. He didn't win last year because I red lit last year and got runner up against Possum Jr., I think they call him. So he was not there racing. Barclay had been racing all week long in the $1 million bracket race, I think at Gateway International or whatever it is by St. Louis. So if anybody's practiced that week, it would be him. So fortunately for me, he fell asleep a little bit, and he and Bear's car, both you can hear the trans brake and two-step firing off here. He had a 062 reaction to my 24, so I finally got my reaction down a little bit better. He ran a 614 on a 16, so he broke out. I ran a 43 on a 43 at 106.99 mile per hour, so that was pretty good for me. The car's finally coming back around, and it did its job on that last pass, so that's exactly what I needed. There was a lot of crazy upsets throughout that bracket race. T's Good Time Garage, I really thought he was going to be in the final, but I want to say that he and Jamie from Dead Dodge Garage raced. So y'all check out one of their channels or both their channels and see exactly what happened. I didn't get to see it until after the fact, so I don't have any footage of it. Several other upsets, John Cope and Ross raced. There were many others, but some people were going rounds and they've never been rounds before. So anything can happen in a bracket race. One thing I did do before I left that place, I walked right over to John Cope and I gave him some money to put towards my trans brake for next year. So look forward to that coming up soon. I got to get this valve body out. This is his reverse manual valve body, but it does not have a brake. So he'll convert it for me. I'll get it back in, and then I'll have the capability of running the trans brake and two-step next year, just like some of these other guys are. A plain old foot brake racer. Launch about 1,500 RPM and go. So I appreciate y'all watching, and I'll catch you next time.
Just Mopar Joe wins the bracket race, just like the first year. Keep your cash, buddy. Maybe you could take us out to eat tonight for taking all this excellent filmography stuff. I can't talk right now. I'm happy for Joe. Good job, buddy. I think it's Chevy'd on him, Drew. It seems like it Chevy'd on him.
Oh, yeah, it drop its guts on the tractor.
We're going to go down and take a look.
A little bit, a little here and there.
All right, Mopar people.